The Pepsodent Show, presenting A Date with Judy.
Hello?
Judy?
Why, hello.
Judy, I'd like to ask you for a date tonight. Of course, I don't have a big car like Ozzie Prindle, and I know I'm not as good-looking as Ozzie Prindle, and I don't have as much money as Ozzie Prindle. But could I have a date anyhow?
Why, certainly, but can I ask you one question?
Sure, Judy.
How can I get in touch with Ozzie Prindle?
You've got a date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. But first, here's a 30-second beauty hint entitled, How to Have a Gleaming, Bright Smile to Go with Your Summer Coat of Tan. Just go to work on your teeth with high-polish Pepsodent tooth powder. But be sure it's Pepsodent, for in competition with all other leading brands of tooth powder, Pepsodent was found to produce a higher shine, a more beautiful luster on teeth than any other. Twice as bright as the average of all other leading brands. So there you are, for a gleaming smile that's twice as bright, then go to your drug counter and say, Pepsodent tooth powder, please. Well, it's a nice sunshiny morning in the town Judy Foster lives in, and her 10-year-old brother Randolph, one of Judy's major problems, is strolling down Main Street with his sidekick Curly when they encounter one of those man-on-the-street radio interviewers.
Thank you very much, sir. And now, look who we have here, two little gentlemen. Won't you step right up, young man?
Sure, why not? Come on, Randolph.
May I have your names?
Tell him your name, Stinky. My name's Sylvester Whiteman. Everybody calls me Curly, though. Except me, I call him Stinky.
And what is your name, my little man?
Randolph Foster. What's yours, my little man?
Well, that's sort of reversing the procedure a little. I'm smiling. Yes, smiling when Niles. The sidewalk interviewer, and I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Shoot.
Do you gentlemen go to school?
In the summertime, don't be a drip.
We're a newspaper man.
Really? What newspaper?
It's the Tri-Monthly Tri-Boy Tribune. I'm editor-in-chief.
That's only because his father owns a mimeograph machine.
And what's your official position?
Me, I'm sports editor.
And society editor.
Do I have to get that society stuff?
You sure do.
But I don't want to. I'm the sports editor type.
You either get the society news or you're fired, Randolph.
Oh, thank you very much. Hello, this is Smiling Wen Niles, ladies and gentlemen. Your old sidewalk interviewer. Now run along, boys.
There isn't any justice. Muse covers the He-Man versus Superman baseball game. Me, the sports editor deluxe.
Who's editor-in-chief of this outfit?
Now, Randolph, Stinky, please, we're on the air.
Who wants to be a society editor?
Just a minute, boys, just a minute.
The table was tastefully decorated in green and pews.
Oh, please.
Festoons of stinkweed made the nuptial bower a veritable garden. Boy.
Mother, have there been any phone calls for me this morning?
This morning, Judy? Do you mean to tell me you know anyone who gets up before noon during summer vacation?
I mean this date I had last night. He said he wouldn't sleep all night.
He promised, Judy?
Oh, he's utterly feverish about me. He said my eyelashes were luscious. He just said everything. Oh, he poured on the roses.
And now, just like any old lug, he sleeps all night through and doesn't call you in the morning. Man.
He said he was going to rush me every moment of the day and night. Mother, will you please stop sorting the dirty wash while I'm confiding in you? And here it is, 11:30. Don't you think he's an ick for not having phoned?
He's a villain.
Mother, I wish you wouldn't tear up Father's shorts into dish rags while I'm talking to you.
Oh, look at that. I don't know where that man gets so many holes in his underwear.
It's not from doing the rumba.
This is Smiling Randolph Foster, your old society editor.
What?
Mother, have you been to any shindigs lately?
Shindigs, Randolph? What sort of shindigs?
Oh, society stuff. Weddings, teas, receptions, hen parties, anything you've got.
Randolph, I was talking to Mother.
Well, you don't have a monopoly. Mother, how about it? Haven't you been anyplace lately?
Well, one night last week your father and I went bowling, and one night we went to a weenie roast.
Socially, Mother, you're a total loss. Well, if you hear of any social items, let me know.
I will, dear. Why don't you ask Mrs. Slutzhammer next door if she has any items? She always knows everything that goes on in this neighborhood.
Okay, but if you happen to be presented at court or anything before my deadline, let me in on it. Ho, 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 Mrs. Slutzhammer, this is Smiling Randolph Foster, your old society editor.
He's a dreadful drain on my vitality.
Oh, is he? I personally am very fond of him.
Oh, that's it. I'll answer it, Mother. It's my last night's date. I knew he wouldn't be able to sleep. Hello? Oh, hello. Yes, she is. Mother, it's for you.
Oh, for me? Is it a girl or a man? Or am I quoting you, dear?
It's a man.
Well, I hope it's a sugar puss. And not the garage mechanic telling me we need a new battery. Hello? Who? Sydney. Not Sydney Holland. Whatever are you doing in town after all these years? Was Sydney? Oh, this is a surprise, hearing your voice again. But do you know I recognized it almost immediately? No, really I did. Why, how could I forget you? Your image is engraved indelibly upon my heart. Tell me what you're doing here.
Do you hear a clicking sound on the wire, Mother? It usually clicks when somebody's trying to get us.
Oh, how exciting. Of course I'm interested, Sydney. How could I help but be? I'll tell you what, Sydney, I won't say a word to my husband. The hotel? Today? Oh, Sydney, I'd adore it, but I've so many things to do. Well, all right, I'll just drop everything. I'll meet you there at 1 o'clock. Goodbye.
Who was that?
An old beau of mine. Turned out to be a sugar puss after all. Well, I've got to hurry and get these things together and go.
Where are you going?
I have a rendezvous. Your old mother has a rendezvous, Judy. Isn't that luscious?
Did you know him before you knew Father?
I did. He was utterly feverish about me. He didn't sleep all night for nights and nights.
Mother!
Well, you sound shocked, dear.
Well, I should think you'd have some loyalty for Father.
Oh, I do, of course. But I always say a sugar puss is a sugar puss.
Is he handsome?
Sydney? Oh, there's glamour written all over his sugar puss. I have a picture of him I might show you sometime. In a football uniform. Very collegiate. As the quaint old phrase went in my day.
You haven't kept a picture of him all these eons.
Oh, yes, all these eons. Dear, why don't you scram in a quiet way? I'm terribly busy.
I see. Well, I wouldn't dream of being in your way. Perhaps you'd like me to get out of the house completely.
Of course not, dear.
I'll go over to Gloria's. She doesn't mind having me around.
My, how sensitive we are today. Let me see. 8 sheets, 12 pillowcases, 17 bath towels. Oh, I wonder what's keeping that laundress. 3 wash rags, 6 napkins, 11 face towels. Hello? Oh, hello, Woody. Has Petunia left yet? Just left, eh? Well, I'm afraid I can't wait for her. I guess she'll know what to do about stretching the curtains. I'll leave a note. Thank you, Woody. Where was I now? 5 dish towels, 8 pair of socks. Oh, I'll never get away. Hello? Oh, hello, Mrs. Cambridge. Oh, those old clothes for the club rummage sale. I have them already, but I have an appointment. Oh, your house? Yes, I could drop them off there. I'll just stick them in a suitcase and leave them with you. That'll be fine. Oh, I'm an ick to have forgotten. Ick, Mrs. Cambridge. I-C-K.
Mother, anyone home? Isn't anybody home? Ho, ho, ho! Smiling Randolph Foster's home. If you consider that anybody, and there are sometimes I think you don't.
Where's Mother?
I don't know.
Oh, I remember. She had a date at a hotel with a glamorous man.
Mother did? At a hotel?
Yes.
How long is she going to stay?
Well, how should I know?
She had a pretty big suitcase with her.
A suitcase, Randolph? Oh, Randolph, She's eloped.
Oh, Mother? You mean with a man?
Oh, Randolph, how are we going to break the news to Father?
Well, imagine seeing you two here at my factory. Not only my son, but my daughter. This is indeed a surprise. Wait here in my office just a minute, you two. I have to go tell my stenographer something. Be right back.
Let me do the talking, Randolph. I'm more tactful.
I think this is a bunch of bunk, Judy. I've always trusted Mother.
You wouldn't talk that way if you'd heard her raving about this man this morning. Why, from the moment she heard his voice, she was a dead pigeon. He lured her right over the telephone.
I bet all he lured her into was buying a vacuum cleaner.
Poor Father. He'll be utterly stricken. Oh, here he comes. Brace yourself, Randolph.
I'm braced.
All right, kids. I'm free now. Tell me what's on your minds and how much it's going to cost me.
Father, there's something we've got to tell you.
Hmm?
But before we say anything, there's something you have to promise us.
All right, I'm in a good humor.
I want you to promise you won't shoot anybody
Shoot anybody?
with a gun. At first it'll be difficult, but later on, when you become rational, you'll thank me for making you refrain from taking another's life.
Say, what is this?
Father, prepare yourself for a terrific shock. I wish I could spare you, if only for a few more hours of happiness.
Judy, you've spared me long enough. I haven't got a few hours to be spared. I've got a sales meeting in a little while, so stop sparing me any longer and tell me quick.
It's about somebody very near and dear to you.
For the love of heaven, I don't want to play guessing games. Who's sick? Come on, let me have it.
Well, nobody's sick at all, Father. It isn't a question of illness. It's something else entirely.
Judy,
Father,
if you don't...
Mother eloped with another man.
What?
Oh, Randolph, how could you say such a thing before I prepared Father properly? Oh, Father, I feel dreadful. I meant to break it to you gradually. I wanted
What the
to...
Sam Hill are you prattling about? Did you come down here to tell me a fish story like this? Your mother would no sooner elope with another man than I would.
And I couldn't see you eloping with another man. I've been telling Judy that
It's true, Father. I heard her personally on the telephone saying she'd meet him at a hotel. And then she went off with a suitcase.
Well, he's probably a wholesale furrier, and she's meeting him there to... Why, she was saying the other day she wished she could get a fur wholesale.
The suitcase, Father.
Well, she's probably carrying her knitting in it. Lord only knows what women are likely to carry their knitting in these days.
I'm sorry, Father. But I personally heard her say he was glamorous. Can you stand this, darling? I heard her say she never could forget him, and that his image was engraved indelibly upon her heart.
Indelibly upon her... Your mother doesn't talk that way.
Not to you, Father, but she did to Sidney.
Sidney? Sidney who?
I can't remember his last name. I think it began with an H.
Sidney Holland?
Yes, Father. He's the man. So you knew about it all these eons.
Knew what?
That she cared.
Cared my eye, that fat fool from Ashtabula, Ohio? He's got ears that stick out like...
Mother thinks he's handsome.
Handsome? Sidney Holland? Flat feet, couldn't even get in the Army in 1918.
Well, Mother has a picture of him in a football uniform.
Football, ha! That's a good one. I'd like to see Sidney play football.
Up until now, I too thought Mother had gone to see a wholesale furrier carrying her knitting in a suitcase. But in view of your remarks about Mr. Holland, Father, ugly doubts are beginning to rear their fat heads with ears that stick out like...
Be quiet, Randolph. Father, I suggest you come home now and try to get some rest. I'll do the driving. Randolph and I will help you out to the car.
I'll do no such thing. I'm staying right here. The whole thing's perfectly ridiculous. I don't believe a word of it. Your mother would no more look at Sidney Holland than Miss Henkel. I'm going home for the day. Break my appointment. Come on, children. We'll go home. Though I don't know why I'm doing this. Your mother's probably there baking a cake or something.
Just lean on Randolph and me as you walk, Father.
Well, you can always depend on one thing. When Judy gets going, things really happen. For example, that was Judy's idea of how to break a bit of news gently. We'll see the results of that gentle treatment in just a moment. But right now, here's a bit of news that doesn't need to be broken gently. It's about how to get double value in toothbrushes. You see, Pepsodent's 50 Tough toothbrush is the only toothbrush in the world that gives you double cleansing power, double brushing power, and double the number of tufts in a modern small-type head. Now, obviously, you get double value because the Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush means cleansing power twice that of any other brush, brushing power twice as efficient, and bristles that are springier, easier on your gums because there are twice as many tufts. Just go to your nearest drug counter tonight and ask for a Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush. When you get it home, break the seal at the end of the sanitary glass container. Remove the brush and throw the container away. Then you'll see why we say you get double value, because the Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush feels different, has a more pleasant action in your mouth than any other brush you've ever used before. Do it tonight, will you? Well, let's see. The family thinks Mother has run off with Sidney Holland. Father has been reluctantly led home from the office by an overly sympathetic daughter. Here they all are, walking up the Foster steps.
I'll show you she's home right now. Dora! Dora!
It's hopeless, Father. The sooner you reconcile yourself to the fact that...
Dora! Dora! That's funny. Maybe she's in the kitchen. Dora? No, she's not here.
There's a note here on the kitchen table.
A note?
It must be Mother's farewell note.
Let me see it. Had to leave. Get on as well as you can without me. Signed, Mrs. Foster.
She didn't need to be that formal.
Well, she could hardly sign it Mother any longer, as she's no longer a mother to us. Nor could she sign it your loving wife, as she's no longer... Oh, excuse me, Father.
Maybe we ought to check if it's in her handwriting. I could put it under my microscope and check it with another specimen of her hand.
Sidney Holland? He can't even swim. He took your mother on a picnic once and the canoe tipped over. He blubbered in the water like an oversized whale.
Father, you won't forget your promise, will you? About not tracking him down and shooting him, I mean.
Sidney Holland? When he was 23, his hair started falling out.
They probably wouldn't give you the electric chair, but there will be a long jail term and additional disgrace and...
What do you mean, additional?
I mean everybody talking. When I think of what Mrs. Schletzhammer up next door alone will say when the news of Mother's elopement comes out...
Excuse me a minute, please. I have to go in the other room to make an important telephone call. Poor Father. Hello, Curly. Ha, ha, ha! This is smiling Randolph Foster. Have I got some hot news for the society page? Take this down, Curly. Mr. Melvin Foster of Elm Street announces the elopement of his wife, Dora, to a Mr. Sidney Holland of Ashtabula, Ohio. That is all.
Gee, Gloria, I'm glad you dropped in. You're just in time to help me cook supper.
What are you cooking supper for? Where's your mother?
Oh, the most terrible thing has happened, Gloria. Now, this is absolutely confidential. So I want you to promise you won't say a thing about it until everybody else is talking about it anyhow, so it won't matter.
I promise.
Okie dokie. Well, Mother has run off with another man.
With another? Honestly?
Yes, it's dreadful. I'm too positively worried about Father. He's utterly stricken.
Jeepers. Jeepers, that's grand.
I know. So you see what a responsibility I have. It's up to me to try to take Mother's place. I'm going to keep house for Father and cook his meals and make him as comfortable as I can and comfort him. And well, I'm just going to do everything to bring a little comfort into his poor, broken life.
Jeepers.
So that's why I'm cooking dinner. Look, Gloria, this fish was in the icebox. What'll I do with it?
Gee, so raw.
I know. Doesn't it look awful?
Is it dead?
Well, I think it's dead. It hasn't moved for 5 minutes.
That's good. Because I wouldn't like to have to kill it.
I wouldn't either. But I think we can go on the assumption it's dead. But then what do we do?
I don't know. I think it has to be cooked. When we have fish for supper at home, it comes on the table all cooked. With a slice of lemon in its mouth.
A slice of lemon? That's a good tip, Gloria. That's just what I'll do. I'll put a slice of lemon in its mouth.
I'd cook it, too, if I were you.
Well, all right. Gee, it certainly is going to be hard to take Mother's place now that she's run off with another man. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's easy for a girl whose mother has eloped.
Aren't you going to have anything else for supper but fish?
Well, I was going to make spaghetti, but it's all long and stiff and it won't fit into the pan.
Maybe you need a longer pan.
Well, there aren't any longer pans except the dish pan. Oh, it'd fit in that.
Well, then use the dishpan. I think you have to put water in it, too.
Well, hot or cold water?
I don't know. Well, let's not take any chances. Let's make it half hot water and half cold water. Sort of mix them up a little bit.
Well, thank everything we'll have a good supper tonight. What a comfort that'll be to Father.
I can't eat a bite of this. What'd you do to this fish? Cook it in soap suds?
Really, Father, I was only trying
The spaghetti is very interesting, too. If I shut my eyes, and I never take the chance, I couldn't tell it from angleworms. All it needs is big blue eyes.
Randolph!
Well, it tastes like angleworms.
Did you ever taste an angleworm?
I don't have to now. I've tasted the spaghetti.
For the love of heaven, what are these supposed to be? Shoe buttons?
They're peas, Father. I tried so hard. I worked my fingers to the bone trying to make a good dinner for you, and all you do is talk about angleworms and shoe buttons.
What I like is the expression on the fish's face. Sort of dejected.
Yeah, well, you'd be dejected, too, if you went through what that fish has just gone through.
A lot of appreciation I get for trying to make a home for you and keep the family together and housekeep.
Oh, I wish I knew where your mother was.
Oh, thanks ever so much, Mrs. Gray. It's so late. My family will think I've run off or something.
I'm glad to do it, Mrs. Foster.
Goodbye.
Mrs. Foster! Oh, Mrs. Foster!
Oh, yes, Mrs. Nutshammer. Is that you? I can hardly see you over there in the window.
Well, I saw you coming along the street, and I thought I'd say hello. So you've decided to come back, have you?
What do you mean?
Giving him up, haven't you? Well, believe me, Mrs. Foster, you've done the wise thing.
Well, Mrs. Nutshammer, I really don't understand what you...
Oh, and I'm glad you decided to come back so soon. When I saw this item in the Tri-Monthly Tri-Boy Tribune, I said to Mr. Nutshammer, I can't believe a woman like Dora Foster would do...
What item do you mean?
Oh, you probably haven't seen it. Well, it was just delivered on this street just a few minutes ago. I have it right here. I'll read it to you. Mr. Melvin Foster of Elm Street announces the elopement of his wife, Dora, to Mr. Sidney Holland.
It's dessert, that's what it is. I don't know what's so mysterious about it. I got it right out of the cookbook. It's called Floating Island.
It floats all right.
Somebody just came in. Dora.
Mother! It's Mother!
Well,
So, you decided to leave Mr. Holland and return to your unglamorous old husband, huh?
you too, Melvin. Well, I never heard of anything like this in all my life. I just can't believe... Randolph, I have here a copy of the Tri-Monthly Tri-Boy Tribune.
You have?
Mrs. Slutshammer gave it to me. Mrs. Slutshammer, of all people, the biggest gossip in town. Look at this. Mr. Melvin Foster of Elm Street announces the elopement of his wife.
What? Let me see it. For the love of heaven.
How could you do a thing like this to your father and me, Randolph?
Well, I guess I'm a newspaper man first and a family man second.
And you, Melvin Foster. Why, when I came in, you acted as though you thought I had eloped.
Well, the note and everything.
The note? What note?
It was on the kitchen table.
Oh, I left that note for Petunia about stretching the curtains.
Oh, was it for Petunia?
Well, how about the suitcase?
The suitcase? Oh, I was just taking some old clothes to Mrs. Cambridge's for the rummage set. What's come over this family? I never... Melvin.
Huh?
If you really want to know what I was doing all this time, I was getting an order for your factory.
What?
Sidney Holland and his father have bought out a salmon canning factory, and they're going to need thousands of cans every month. I went down and had lunch with them both, and
Both?
Both. I wanted to surprise you on what happens. I come up the street, and I'm told I've eloped with the... What's this on the table? Is this my fish?
We had a hard time recognizing it, too.
Well, I was only doing my best, trying to take your place in the home and make things comfortable for Father.
Oh, you poor dear noble child. And you, all of you, you thought I'd run off with Sidney Holland. Sidney Holland!
With Sidney Holland, that fat fool. I never believed it for a moment.
Neither did Judy. Tri-Monthly Tri-Boy Tribune, editor-in-chief speaking. Hello, Randolph. What happened? It wasn't? Oh, yeah, I guess we can sort of print a retroaction. I know what we'll do. We'll put out an extra. Here's what we'll say. The Tri-Monthly Tri-Boy Tribune wishes to announce that Mrs. Melvin Foster, wife of Melvin Foster of Elm Street, did not elope with her old boyfriend, Sidney Holland of Ashtabula, Ohio.
Well, that unravels another set of complications in Judy's life. As to what happens next in her exciting young life, well, your guess is as good as mine. Oh, yes? Come in.
Ha, ha, ha! Mr. Goodwin! Just the man I've been looking for. I have here in my suitcase some beautiful framed mottos for your wall. Now here's the dandy. It says, ho, 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 you can win success and win it by a mile if you always stretch your face and smile, smile, smile. Ha, ha! Beautiful, isn't it? Want one?
Now, wait a minute. That's my department. Listen to this, my high-pressure motto merchant. One way to success is, as you say, to smile at people. But that's not going to do you any good unless your smile is attractive. And that means you've got to have better than just a halfway tooth powder that only cleans teeth. It means instead that you should choose one that not only cleans teeth, but one which actually makes teeth brighter than any other powder can. And that one is Pepsodent tooth powder. For independent laboratory tests prove beyond doubt that Pepsodent tooth powder has the power to give teeth a luster twice as bright as the average of all other brands, thanks to Pepsodent's exclusive patented ingredient, composite metaphosphate, which Pepsodent alone contains. So if you're interested in success via the smile route, don't go just halfway. Go twice as far with Pepsodent tooth powder, which does twice as much. There, my motto merchant, what do you think of that? What was that?
Them, brother, was my mottos. Yes, sir, I'm going to sell Pepsodent tooth powder.
Well, we all have a terrifically super date with Judy again next Tuesday night. A Date with Judy with Ann Gillis, Paul McGrath, and Margaret Brayton is written by Eileen Leslie and Jerry Schwartz. The music is directed by Wilbur Hatch. See you next Tuesday. Don't be late. You have a date with Judy. This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Pepsodent. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, that concludes the first episode of the night. I hope you all liked it, and take your 5-minute break, and we'll be back then. Yeah. And that concludes our 5-minute break. I hope you liked the music, and let's get to episode 2 of the night. Yay, woo.
Night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums, T-U-M-S. Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion, presents A Date with Judy.
Hello?
Hello, Judy. This is Harold. I just called to tell you that you were the prettiest girl at the party last night.
Why, Harold.
Yeah, and that white sweater you wore is the prettiest one I've ever seen.
Oh, Harold, aren't you sweet? I got it at the Emporium.
Judy, are you doing anything tonight?
Why, not a thing.
Oh, swell. As long as you're free, would you go down to the Emporium and get another sweater, only in pink?
Oh, Harold, how darling of you.
Be sure and get size 44. It's for my mother's birthday.
Well, that's Judy, folks. Judy Foster, the cutest date in town. Your date with her each Tuesday at this same time is arranged by the makers of Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion. Well, let's see. Tomorrow is Father Foster's birthday. And that's why we find Judy and her 12-year-old brother Randolph at a downtown department store shopping for a perfect gift.
Judy, you don't think Father would like a baseball bat, do you?
Certainly not. Let's stop fooling Randolph and get Father something he needs.
Well, here's a baseball glove. Don't you think Father would go for that?
Randolph, we only have $2, and we're going to use it to buy Father something he wants.
Well, do you think he'd like a canoe?
Father wouldn't know what to do with a canoe.
I don't know. He does all right with a paddle.
Well, let's get out of this sports department and try to remember Father is not a sport.
They got chemistry sets for $2 in the toy department.
What do you want Father to do, blow himself up?
Hey, where are you going now?
Oh, there's just something over here I want to look at.
Judy, we haven't got much time.
Oh, Randolph, isn't this gorgeous?
I don't think Father would look well in a necklace.
Oh, Randolph, these earrings are divine.
You think Father really needs earrings?
No, but I wish he did.
Well, I'm sure he'd get a lot more wear out of this diamond tiara.
Look, my birthday isn't so far off, so if we bought Father a present for me, then he'd have it to give to me.
Well, in that case, let's get him a chemistry set, a baseball glove, a bicycle, and a Boy Scout knife. It'll relieve Father's birthday worries, as far as I'm concerned, for 5 years.
Oh, be quiet, Randolph. Come on, let's shop further.
Okie dokie. Hey, Judy, what are you going over to that counter for? Father doesn't wear black nightgowns.
Well, hello, children.
Hi, Mother.
So we took long enough on your shopping trip. Did you get your father a birthday present?
Yes, Mother, we did.
We almost got lost in the wilds of the lingerie department, but we managed to hack our way out.
Why, Randolph, how can you say that? We just took sort of a quick swing through that department.
What'd you get, Father? Something useful, I hope.
Oh, yes, Mother, something very useful.
What, Judy?
I don't think we ought to tell you, because we want it to be a surprise for Father.
Oh, I heard you.
We got him a smoking jacket.
Oh, Randolph, what did you tell for? You know how friendly Mother is with Father.
A smoking jacket, but your father doesn't smoke.
When he has this jacket, he will.
You mean you got a smoking jacket for $2?
Oh, no, Mother, we couldn't get Father anything cheap. This was $18.
$18? Well, where did you get $18?
Oh, he charged it.
You charged it? You bought a present for your father, and you're making him pay for it?
Shouldn't we have done it? Father pays for everything else. He's
Oh,
always...
that's just it. He pays for everything all year round, for me, for you, and for Randolph. And on his birthday, he has to pay for his own birthday present. Well, I think it's a shame.
I guess we shouldn't have charged it.
Well, you certainly shouldn't have. Why, I was so proud of you having saved up $2 to spend on Father. And now, incidentally, what happened to the $2?
Oh, the $2. Well, Randolph bought himself a baseball glove for 79 cents.
Well, Judy bought herself a snood.
Well, it was just the color of my chartreuse dress. I might never have found as perfect a match again, Mother. I might have looked 1,000 years and not have found another like it. It was an absolute necessity, and it was only 85 cents.
And that still doesn't count up to $2.
Oh. Well, when we finished, we were so exhausted from shopping that we had to buy chocolate sundaes.
Another necessity, Mother.
Yes, I see. Well, Father is not going to pay for his own birthday present.
He isn't?
No, Judy, he isn't. I'm going to call up the department store and cancel that smoking jacket right now.
The baseball glove can't be canceled. We bought it outright.
Now listen to me, children. Your father works hard, and then he has a birthday. And what do his children do? They buy themselves chartreuse sloods and baseball gloves.
Only one baseball glove, Mother.
Oh, poor father. No one ever thinks of him. All he ever thinks of is us, but we just neglect him.
He is neglected, isn't he?
He certainly is, Judy.
Oh, Mother, I'm terribly sorry. I feel awful. Poor father. We hardly pay any attention to him.
I could take the baseball glove back.
I know what would be nicer than anything.
What?
If we spend the entire day with Father on his birthday. Mother, it's a perfectly lovely idea.
But, Judy,
Well, of course, that's what we'll do, Randolph. For at least one day in his life, poor Father will know he's loved and appreciated.
Sounds mighty ghoulish to me.
It's perfectly beautiful. Father will have one perfect day. We'll go down to his office and surprise him early in the morning and just make Father happy all day long.
In just a minute, we'll hear what happens to poor Father. In the meantime, are you one of those eat it and beat it persons? You are? Then you've learned that fast eating and acid indigestion often go together. Now, why not learn how quickly Tums bring relief from upset acid stomach? Yes, Tums soothe acid indigestion in record time. Heartburn and that oppressive full feeling quickly vanish. Join the thousands of other Americans who, night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums. Only 10 cents a roll, all drugstores. 3-roll package for $0.25. But be sure you get Tums for the tummy. There are many imitations of Tums, but no substitute for them. And now, back to A Date with Judy. Well, Judy and Randolph have decided to give Father a big break on his birthday. They're going to devote the whole day to him, doing nothing but just making him happy. And now we pick up the kids as they enter his office. Poor Father.
Happy birthday, Father.
Huh?
Happy birthday, Father.
Oh? Oh, thanks. Now would you mind scramming, please?
Father, Randolph and I are going to devote the whole day to you. You'll have to leave the office right now and come with us.
I'm sure that would be very pleasant, dear, but I have an 11 o'clock appointment.
But, Father, all the arrangements are made. You simply got to leave.
Look, Judy, a man has come to town. A very important man from whom I expect to get a very big favor. See, I've been using a patent for years, and now he says he has a claim. If he slaps an injunction on me...
But, Father, we're going to spend the whole day making you happy.
I don't want to be happy. I just want my rights to this patent. This is the most important piece of business I ever had.
This man is going to be here at 11 o'clock.
Mr. Quigley, A.Q. Quigley. Stopping at the Carter Hotel just across the street, and he'll be here in a minute. So would you mind getting out of here and leaving me...
I don't know how you can think of business on your birthday.
Judy, when you get to my age, you'll think of business on your birthday. Now, look, you two, run along, will you? If you really want to help me out, beat it.
Oh, Father!
This is what's called a paternal brush-off. Goodbye, Father.
Oh, Randolph, what are we going to do? And after all the wonderful plans we've made.
Well, I guess Father's been neglected so long he likes it.
Randolph, we simply must rescue Father from himself. Come on.
Where are you going now?
To the Carter Hotel. We'll see Mr. Quigley and explain the whole situation. After all, it is Father's birthday, and we must do everything to make him happy.
Yeah, even if it kills him.
Very important, Mr. Quigley, very. The situation is that it's Father's birthday, and we planned this perfect day of happiness for him.
I see.
We know business is your primary interest and all that, but you wouldn't want to interfere with filial affection, would you?
Decidedly not. Personally, I know nothing of filial affection, but I decidedly wouldn't interfere with it.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Quigley. I think you're wonderful.
Not at all. I'll call your father now and cancel our appointment.
You will? Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Quigley. You don't know what this day of happiness is going to mean to Father.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Quigley. Well, Mr. Quigley, I see, Mr. Quigley, but couldn't you... Well, when could you... I see, Mr. Quigley. Goodbye, Mr. Quigley. Oh, I'm sick. Come in.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Father.
Oh, you two again. What do you want now?
We thought we'd try once again to give you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. This is the most horrible day of my life. Mr. Quigley just phoned me he isn't keeping his appointment, and he doesn't know when he'll give me another.
Is that so, Father?
Yes, that's so. It might be months or years before I have another chance like this. And by that time, I'll be bankrupt.
Father, we planned a whole day of positive happiness for you. So all you have to do is come with us, and you will, won't you?
Look, Judy, Oh, well, why not? What have I got to lose? Lead on!
Oh, Father, I think that's just scrumptious. Now remember, Father, this is absolutely your day. So we want you to do everything you most like to do. What would you like to do most?
Spend the day quietly under a nice shady tree. So here we are at a nice, quiet amusement park.
Oh, but Father, this was all prearranged. After we're through here, we can do something you'd like to do. But you see, Father, this has been planned beforehand. I wonder where the gang is.
The gang?
Yes, Father.
Your gang?
Yes, Father. Oh, there they are in front of the funhouse. Come on.
Just what I love most, your gang. I don't get enough of it at home every night. I have to have it on my birthday, too.
I see everybody else, but I don't see Mr. Quigley.
Quigley? What's Quigley got to do with it?
Oh, we invited him to come along.
You what?
Why, yes, Father. We thought it would be nice if you had a pal about your own age.
A pal? That tight-faced conservative? You'll scare the tar out of him.
We just did it for you to make you happy.
Happy? I was never lower in my whole life. I can't believe it. You asked Quigley to come to this den of horrors?
Oh, Father, he'll enjoy it as much as you will.
That's what I'm afraid of. A.Q. Quigley, good Lord, a staid, blue-nosed old bachelor. Your crowd will kill him.
Oh, is he a bachelor?
Yes, he is. Oh, Judy, why do you do things like this to me?
Oh, well, if he's a bachelor, I'll have to fix him up with a girl.
Huh?
I wonder if Mitzi's his type.
Fix Quigley up with a... Oh, no. No, not that.
Well, you want him to have fun, don't you? Oh, hi, gang. Hi, everybody.
Happy birthday for your father, Judy.
Thank you, Mitzi. Excuse me a minute. Come here, Jojo.
What do you want, Judy?
Well, something's happened that calls for a tremendous sacrifice on your part. Would you mind giving up Mitzi?
Giving up Mitzi?
Only temporarily. My father's pal is meeting us here as a bachelor, and since it's Father's birthday, well, you wouldn't want my father's pal not to have a date today, would you?
Well, no, but...
Well, I thought Mitzi would be a good type for Mr. Quigley. Would you mind terribly if you went staying?
Well, gee, I don't know. Maybe Mitzi isn't willing to sacrifice me.
Mitzi, come on over here a second.
Yeah, Judy?
Mitzi, Jojo's willing to release you for the day because I have another date for you.
You have?
He's an older man.
An older man? Oh, how marvelous. I adore men in their 20s.
Well, he's not exactly in his 20s.
Oh, well, suppose he's 19. Even that's...
Well, he's not exactly 19 either.
Oh, gosh, that's getting right back to Jojo.
Oh, he's older than Jojo, and he's very rich. A millionaire.
Oh, boy.
Maybe even a multimillionaire. And I give you my word of honor, he's an older man. Much older.
It's a deal, Judy.
Swell.
Hey, Judy, come on out of your huddle. Mr. Quigley's here.
Mr. Quigley, let me explain. This is all...
It's all fixed, Father. I mean about Mr. Quigley's date.
Oh, Judy, for the love of heaven. How are you, Miss Foster?
I'm fine. Oh, Mr. Quigley, here's your date. Mr. Quigley, Miss Mitzi Hoffman.
How do you do?
Is this Mr. Quigley? Why, yes, Mitzi.
I think I'll go back to Jojo.
Mr. Quigley, really, I didn't know this was going to happen.
I like older men, Judy, but, gee, not that old.
Oh, how can you say that? How old are you, Mr. Quigley?
Why, I'm 45.
You see? That's not so old. He's got most of his hair. Turn around, Mr. Quigley.
Judy!
See, in the back it's pretty well covered.
Yeah, that's what I'd call a fringe.
Don't be silly, Mitzi. Why, I bet if Mr. Quigley had on a toupee, he'd be almost stunning.
Can I get you something, A.Q.? I'm dreadfully sorry. No, nothing at all.
Can I get you something, Father? You look like you need it.
No, Randolph, they wouldn't sell it to you.
Well, okay, Judy, okay, I'll do it for you. I'll be his girlfriend. But just for today, on account it's your father's birthday.
Don't do me any favors.
Oh, gee, thank you, Mitzi.
Come on, Quigley Wiggly. Now, let's see, what would you rather do first? Go into the fun house or into the tunnel of love?
Oh, this is horrible.
Come on, everybody, let's go to the fun house.
Wait a minute, gang. Let him have it.
Nice and loud now, all together. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
AQ, let me explain. This is all a mistake.
Oh, Father, I'm so glad you're enjoying your birthday so much.
I'm enjoying a merry chase, that's what. Every time I open my mouth to talk to Quigley, a rolling barrel upsets him. Oh, he shoots down a slide. Oh.
But it's fun, isn't it, Father?
Yes, Judy, it's fun. The kind they have in insane asylums.
Oh, Father, watch out. Isn't that a trapdoor in front of you?
Trapdoors? Nothing of the kind. I know a trapdoor when I see one.
Wrong again.
Judy, what is this hole in the wall called?
Father, how unromantic of you. This is the tunnel of love.
I can hardly see. I wonder where Quigley and that magpie are. I don't know how Quigley's going to hold up under this. Normally, he looks like he was ready to cave in. If he's 45, I'm 16.
Father, he admits you're sitting in the seat in front of us.
Quigley, is that you?
Yes, it is I.
Oh, it is. Well, I was just thinking how nice it is you being near me where I can get a chance to talk to you. Explain this mess.
Can I tell you something, Mr. Quigley?
You may tell me something, Miss Mitzi.
Well, usually when we get into the tunnel of love, we pitch woo.
Pitch woo?
Yeah, you know, hold hands. In your day, Mr. Quigley, it was probably called bundling.
That was a little before my day.
You see, Mitzi, he's not so old.
Miss Mitzi, shall I be required to pitch woo?
Well, of course, that's entirely up to you, Mr. Quigley, but just do what you like. Father and I won't watch if you don't want us to, will we, Father?
No, not if they don't want us to.
Oh, it's so wonderful to celebrate your birthday with you, Father. I never knew how much fun it was to just give of yourself for somebody else's happiness. I love it. Just giving and giving.
If you really want to give, for the love of heaven, give me a chance to talk to Quigley alone. Mitzi, would you mind changing seats with me? I want to discuss a new type of canning process with Mr. Quigley.
Change seats? Why, that'd be terrible.
It would?
Why, of course. Gosh, they'd heard everybody think if they saw us coming out of the tunnel of love, me sitting with Judy, and Mr. Foster holding hands with Mr. Quigley.
We'll return to Judy in just a moment. In the meantime, I have an important announcement from Tums. Friends, you don't have to put up with upset stomach caused by acid indigestion anymore. Sure, certain foods, especially if you eat too much, may upset you. But Tums, spelled T-U-M-S, is the answer to that. At the first heartburn warning of acid indigestion, slip 1 or 2 Tums on your tongue, same as you would candy mints, and forget the whole thing. Your stomach and your world are both sweet again. Best of all, you can trust Tums never to over-alkalize your stomach, because Tums are different. Tums contain no soda or other water-soluble alkalis. Therefore, Tums never lets you in for an acid rebound. So be wise. Night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums. 10 cents a roll, 3-roll package for $0.25. Tums for the tummy. T-U-M-S. And now, back to A Date with Judy. Well, Judy's gang is celebrating Father's birthday. They have Father and an important business associate, Mr. Quigley, out at the amusement park. And are those gentlemen getting the works? Listen.
Judy, what are we going to do now?
Eat our picnic lunch, of course, Father, and then we're going swimming. Oh, isn't it lovely? And to think it's all for your birthday, Father.
All I can say is I wish I was never born.
Now, Father, you know you're having a wonderful time, so laugh.
Now, when I'll have all the rest of my life to laugh, in a maniacal sort of way, in a padded cell.
Hey, come and look at Mr. Quigley.
What's wrong with Mr. Quigley?
Well, nothing's wrong with him. He fell off the pier into the water.
Oh, good heavens.
Oh, he's all right now. They pulled him out. Of course, he's kind of puffing like an old dinosaur, but I...
20 years I've been trying to build up a good, respectable business, and in one fell swoop, I've ruined it.
Oh, don't worry, Father. If necessary, I can become a professional baseball player and support the family. I gotta go out now.
When we get home tonight, you better plan on wearing it someplace else besides your hand.
Here we are, everybody. Help yourself to lunch from the back.
Oh, Mr. Quigley. Say, Mr. Quigley, are you all right?
Mr. Foster, please don't disturb us. We're having lunchy-wunchy. Aren't we, Quiggly Wiggly?
You're quite so. You're quite so. Yeah, but after Mr. Quigley's fall from the pier...
Perfectly all right. He's a little wet, but after he eats his lunch, he's going to get in a bathing suit anyway, so what's the difference?
He might catch cold.
Oh, that's silly. Come on now, Quiggly Wiggly, open your mouth. That's it. Now I'll just poke in a spoon of ice cream. There we are. How about a pickle?
Oh, for the love of heaven. I'm all right, Foster, but I'm going to say...
Please, Mr. Foster, Quig is my date. Now open wide.
Okay, everybody, get into your suits. We're going swimming.
Swimming? Right after lunch? Are you crazy, Judy?
Oh, Father, we're right here on the lake. We might as well use it. Here's a suit for you, Father. Go in the bathhouse and put it on.
I refuse to go swimming.
But, Father, you can't refuse. Not after all the trouble Jojo went to get a suit for you. He had to borrow one from his little brother.
From his little brother?
Mm-hmm. It might be tight on account of Jojo's little brother only being 10 years old, but he's big for his age.
Oh.
Come on, Father. Nearly everyone's ready to go in. There goes Mr. Quigley.
Mr. Quigley? He's got his clothes on.
Well, he isn't going to bother changing. He's all wet anyhow.
I'll never get that patent. I might as well close up my factory and go to the poorhouse right now.
Last one in's a stinker. Yes, sir. Father's having a perfect day.
Oh, do I have a stomachache?
Come on, Father. We're going to the dance pavilion.
Dance? But you mean to dance?
Oh, you don't have to jitterbug. I'll dance with you any way you want to.
I don't want to do it anyway. I just want to stay here and hold my poor, unhappy stomach.
Oh, everybody's dancing. Just do it the way you used to in the gay 90s, Father.
You might even try trying on a minuet.
They call that music? Mr. Quigley, AQ, are you referring to me, Foster? Oh, look, AQ, when they're not looking, we can sneak out the side door.
Hey, come on, Quiggly Wiggly, let's dance.
I should try to oblige you, Miss Mitzi.
Can you get him up?
Oh, now, Mitzi, please don't do that to him.
Mr. Foster, I took him on for today, and I'm going to do my duty. I'm going to see that he has a good time. Come on, Quig. Hey, that's it, Quig. That's good.
Am I manipulating properly, Miss Mitzi?
You're good, Quig. Only don't pump my arm, just jerk it.
Oh, like this?
Hey, now you're getting in the groove. Come on. Let's go on. A rocky tuck.
Oh, here, Melvin, put this hot water bottle on your tummy.
Oh.
Would you like the ice bag on your head?
Everything hurts.
Oh,
My legs from walking around, my head spinning in a million different directions. I've never had such an awful day in my life.
We were only trying to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, you celebrated it all right. Another hour of that and it would have been my last birthday ever.
Oh, Melvin.
Now listen to me, all of you. This is my last wish. My birthday is hereafter struck out of the calendar completely.
Oh, Father.
Quigley will fight me tooth and nail on that patent after this.
But, Father, all we did was for you.
Oh, don't think I don't appreciate it. You devoted a whole day to me, giving up your time, not doing the things you usually do, spending all that money. Incidentally, who footed the bill?
Mr. Quigley.
What?
He insisted.
Oh, if I ever get up from this deathbed, I'll... Oh, my stomach. Oh, poor Quigley. Who's taking care of him? Who's putting hot water bottles on his stomach? No!
That wasn't your stomach, Father. That was the telephone. Never mind, I'll answer.
Hello? Oh, yes. Melvin, it's Mr. Quigley.
Quigley? What am I going to say to the man? Here, Judy, you hold this ice bag.
Yes.
Randolph, you hold this hot water bottle. Hello.
Hello there, Foster.
Oh, Mr. Quigley, I want to explain about today. I feel just the way you do about it.
Well, you know, I didn't know you had it in you.
Huh?
I thought it was wonderful, too. Just wonderful.
You what?
It was a fine day. Thanks very much. Now, Foster, about that patent.
Yeah?
You can have it.
I can what?
It's yours. Well, see you in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't sound so good. You can't take it, can you?
No,
Well, try to get back in shape. I feel great. Goodbye.
Well, I never. What happened, Melville? He gave me the patent. What? He enjoyed the day. He actually enjoyed the day.
Well, here's your hot water bottle, Father.
I don't need it. All of a sudden, I feel great. I wonder who that can be.
I'll get it. Hello? Just a minute. It's Mr. Quigley again.
I knew it couldn't be true. I knew it. Give me back my hot water bottle.
I wonder what he wants now.
Let me have that phone.
But he doesn't want to talk to you. He wants to talk to Judy.
To Judy?
I'll take it. Hello, Quigley Wiggly.
Hello, Miss Foster. I just called back to ask you a favor.
Yes, Mr. Quigley?
Could you give me Mitzi Teller's phone number?
Father, he wants Mitzi's telephone number.
What?
He must be crazy about her.
Tell him I said he might as well buy himself a toupee while he's at it.
Mr. Quigley, Father says to tell you the truth.
We'll return to Judy in just a moment. But first, we all know that eating before going to bed is fun. But even a little bite before retiring can take a big bite out of your night's sleep. For remember, the better the food or drink, the more you may need Tums. One of the most common causes of sleepless nights is an upset acid stomach. There's no sense in lying awake counting sheep when 1 or 2 Tums dissolved in your tongue might relieve the whole trouble and help you to sleep in peace. It's simply wonderful the way Tums bring fast relief from acid indigestion. So keep a roll of Tums tucked under your pillow. Do what thousands do. Night and day, at home or away, always keep Tums handy. 10 cents a roll, all drugstores. 3-roll package for $0.25. Tums for the tummy. T-U-M-S. And now, back to the Fosters.
Oh, gee, I hope that's a date.
There ought to be a way you could tell it's a date by the way the phone rings.
I hope it's somebody new. Somebody I could get a violent fever for.
You know, I could make a fortune with an invention like that.
Hello?
Hello, Judy.
Oh, hello, Jojo.
Listen, Judy, I'm pretty upset.
Why, Jojo?
Well, I didn't mind it in lending Mitzi to Mr. Quigley for one afternoon, but that's as far as I want to go.
Why? What's wrong?
There I was, trying to be a good guy, doing you a favor, and now what happens?
All right, what happened?
Now I can't get a date with Mitzi at all.
You can't?
No, she doesn't want to date anybody but older men.
Oh, gee, that's a shame, Jojo.
I'll say it's a shame, and it's all your fault. When I loaned Mitzi to Mr. Quigley, I lost her forever.
Oh, how gruesome.
Older men all the time. Why, do you know? Last night she went out with a guy 21 years old.
She did? Gee, what does she want to do that for?
Don't ask me. She doesn't like anybody anymore unless he's got one foot in the grave.
It's awfully morbid, isn't it?
Awful. Judy, how do you feel about younger men?
I feel fine about him, why?
Gee, I wish I could get Mitzi to feel that way.
You do?
Yeah. Judy, I know just the way to do it.
How?
You have a little brother named Randolph, don't you?
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if I loaned Mitzi to Randolph for a couple of hours, do you think she'd get interested in younger men again?
A Date with Judy is written by Aline Wesley and stars Louise Erickson and Dix Davis. Original music was composed and played by Charles Cornell. The program is produced and directed by Helen Mack. This is Doug Gourley inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday at this same time to keep your date with Judy. And remember, night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums. T-U-M-S.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.